Good morning, Bonneville County. This is Idaho State Senator Kevin Cook, and you have just joined Breakfast with Senator Cook live on Facebook. I try to do this every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for the purpose of letting you know what's going on in Boise, some of the bills that are being listened to and debated, and also hopefully a chance for you to communicate with me. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings on some of the bills or on some of the things that we should be doing in Boise. So feel free to add your comments and questions, and we'll try to answer them live or try to get back with you and answer them. Anyway, this is, we have just concluded week 4 of the 2023 legislative session. It is done. It's in the books. We're through with it. And so what happened? What did we do? One of the big ones that I am excited about to get off my plate and be done with is the Joint Change in Employee Compensation Committee. We call that the CEC Committee. Its mission is to determine a fair value of compensation for state employees. Simply put, what that committee is supposed to do is come up with a salary for all of those state employees along with their benefits and retirement. And so we work on that. I co-chair that with Representative Matt Bundy from Mountain Home. So over the last, 4 weeks, we have heard testimonies from different agencies throughout the state, along with 200 written comments from different employees of the state of Idaho. The state's employment turnover rate is nearly 22%. So we have lots of turnover. We do lots of training, and then they leave for better paid jobs. And so it costs the state a lot to do that. Anyway, there were, so Wednesday we came together to decide on, and I was told don't end the meeting without a decision. And so we talked for a while, and then there were 3 motions put forth. The first was a motion that was basically the same as the governor's. Second motion was Senator Ward Engelking. I think the first motion was done by Senator Van Burtenshaw, so out in Mud Lake area, so the southeast Idaho guy. I believe he put up the first motion. And then Senator Ward Engelking from Boise area made a motion, and then Representative Holtzclaw made a motion. So let me just go through those. So those are 3 motions in that order. And then you have to walk them back in the same order. So we got a motion on so we're looking at the 3rd motion. And so Representative Holtzclaw's motion was, he wanted to raise the employee merit pay by $1.20 an hour. So everybody would get $1.20 an hour based on merit. So if I'm your boss, and I think you're doing a great job, I could give you $1.20 or even a little bit more for a raise. If I didn't think you're doing a good job, I wouldn't even have to give you a raise. So it was $1.20 an hour merit increase with an additional 4% increase for our public safety officers, so our policemen, to raise their scale up 4%. It was voted down. I don't remember the numbers on it, but I don't think it was very close. I think it went down kind of hard. Then we went to the second motion, which was from Senator Janie Ward Engelking from Boise. She proposed a 6% merit-based increase, and with an additional 4% for the law enforcement. And it got it down and it voted down. So Janie Ward Engelking and the Democrats, they were all for that one. They believed that we needed to pay more to our state employees. They needed more. And I don't think there was anybody on the committee that disagreed with that. But we were afraid of not knowing we were afraid of the unknowns. What's going to happen next year with the recession or inflation? Where are we going to be at? And so we would prefer to just give it little bites and hopefully catch up and give our awesome state employees some salaries, some increases. So anyway, hers was voted down, and then finally Senator Burtenshaw's, we looked at his motion, and basically it was a 4% merit increase. Again, as a boss, or you're the boss, you can decide how much money I want to give this employee versus that employee. So it's based on merit. And then an additional 6% to law enforcement. And you might ask, why are we dealing so much with law enforcement? All three of these had law enforcement increase. And basically our ISP, Idaho State Patrol officers, we get them trained and they're on the job for 1 or 2 years, and the state and city and county take them. And because we're so underpaid compared to the rest of them and our surrounding states as well. And so the big study was done. The study comes back and says, yes, you are way underpaying your state employees, especially your ISP, your patrol officers. And so the 6% was to erase theirs as well. So what this did, so we voted on that, and that one we passed. I think there was 2 votes against it, and that was the Democrats. Basically, it would cost an estimated $39.6 million to the state general funds for this increase. That's according to the Legislative Services Office. But it was good. I think it's a good thing. We'll find out. But anyway, our state employees do need a raise bad. They're way behind. And just to let you know, they're not getting rich working at the state. They're trying to get them 25% of the middle of the pay range for each of their categories. And they used to have a really good state benefits package, and that benefits package is not quite as good. Other people are catching up with us. So we did need to take care of them. So I'm hoping that this is that they'll love it and they'll stick with their job and continue to work hard and do good things for us. We got some incredible state employees that do some great work. Basically, we voted on that then, so it passed. And so the committee, basically it'll be the co-chair and I, will go and present this to the JFAC committee, the Joint Finance and Appropriations Committee. And we'll present what we came back with the CEC committee, and JFAC will vote on whether they accept it, reject it, or modify it. So basically, we need to have that in place for us to finish our budgets. And so as we're getting close to getting through all of the budgets, we got 2 more weeks of listening to budgets, and then we'll start setting them. And so we needed to know the CEC. So that was done. It's good news. It's great. Okay, some of the good things I think that you should be excited about. For 3 years, I've heard nothing but lower my property taxes. I can't exist in my home. I'm losing my home. Get rid of the property tax. Do something with it. I need relief. And for 3 years, what did we do? We gave you income tax relief. I'm not sure why. The governor was just set on income tax relief. But I had never heard anyone ask me for income tax relief. Anyway, there are 3 bills that were heard in a print hearing, that were heard in the House, local House Rev and Tax Committee. Let me just tell you about those 3. Okay, so RS 30141. Again, these are just hearings. They weren't for public yet. They were hearings to say, can I move forward? Can I get it printed and then come and present it to the committee and debate it there? So this one was put up by Senator Scott Groh. Many of you know him. He presented his property tax relief bill. What it does is it provides property tax relief to Idaho's primary home residents. So if you have 2 or 3 homes, you're only going to get this. This is going to only help you on your primary residence. Okay. What this bill does is it takes 4.5% of all of our sales tax. It takes 4.5%, takes that, and applies it to your property tax. If you had your bill, then on the bill it would show a subtraction. So if you received your property tax bill and it says, oh, you owe $3,000, the next line it would say, here's a subtraction. Subtract this much from that. And that's what Senator Groh's bill is doing, is trying to give you that subtraction. So for the year 2023, the amount of $100 million would be appropriated to begin relief in 2023. And then the sales tax would kick in after that. Now, there is no tax increase for anyone anywhere on this bill, okay? Doesn't increase anybody's tax. Approximately $150 million a year from sales tax would be used to give relief to Idahoans. For owner-occupied homes, this relief will show up, like I said, on a property tax notice. It will show up as a subtraction. The homeowner will simply pay the reduced amount. And maybe an example, if the total property taxes on your home owner-occupied residence was $3,000, and if you subtracted all the bonds and voter-approved levies, the mosquito district and all those other things, if you subtracted all that, instead of $3,000, you'd probably be down to about $2,250. And if you take that state property tax relief amount from that, it would be around $600. So you'd subtract the $600 from the $2,250, and that would be then your property bill. Okay, has nothing to do with your bonds, your levies, any of your voter-approved levies. Doesn't do that. So you have to take that away first. It's only subtracted from your property tax. Okay. All right. The next one that was presented was RS 30008C, as in Charlie 1. And this one was done by Representative Skog. And he proposes restoring, okay, it's restoring the property tax indexing. The indexing was on the books for about 10 years until 2016 when it was repealed. Since 2016, property tax on commercial property has fallen 24.4% and has risen 25.4% on homes. This is what Representative Skog is saying. So he believes that the pendulum has swung too far the other way, that the homeowners are paying the brunt of property taxes, and commercial and ag are not paying their full share. So he's trying to swing that back. And what his bill does is basically indexes. So as your price of your home goes up, the price of the exemption, homeowner's exemption goes up, okay? So that's how that works with a cap of 50%. So it's kind of shifting some of that tax burden back over to commercial or businesses and ag. And that's what his does. The next one that was presented was RS 30200, and that was by Representative Moyle. You may know him as the new Speaker of the House, Moyle. So his has a four-part plan. Sorry, I can't talk. What he's doing is, his first part is he's going to take 4.5% of all the sales tax. Now, you heard me talk about that. That was part of Senator Gross, that very first property tax that we talked about. So he's going to take 4.5% of sales tax and take part of that money that the governor wanted to give to education that we did in August. So he's going to take a hunk of that money and the 4.5% sales tax, and he's going to take some money from other spots and combine that all together into a nest egg of about $300 million. And then this money would then be used to pay off school bonds, supplementals, and safety issues. And so if your school doesn't have any bonds or supplemental or safety issues, then you don't get the money. But those that do, you pay it off, and there's money left over, we take the money back. Okay? So what he's doing is by paying, it's an indirect thing that's going to help your property tax, by him paying off the supplementals and safety, supplementals and school bonds, which in many cases, well, I was going to say 25%, but I don't know if that's true. Anyway, so the school bonds, supplementals, all that would go away. All that would be paid off. And so we would start fresh. The second part of his tax relief bill is he wants to consolidate the election dates by only allowing election or voting to take place on May and November. Right now, you believe you can do it in November, you can do it in March, you can do it in May, you can do it in August, and then back to November. And so lots and lots of different voting on. A lot of people say, I forgot about it. Heavens, there's a voting, or I'm out of town. There's just too many times of voting, and so he wants to consolidate it down to 2. Number 3, the third part of his bill was to change the qualifications to the circuit breaker. We had several people that got kicked off. We even had it here in Idaho Falls area that I talked to, some that called. They got kicked off of it, and this third part of his bill would simply make the changes to put them back on the circuit breaker and qualify for that. And then the fourth one is to raise homeowners exemption up 150K. And so those are the 4 things he does. So there's 3 property tax bills so far that are being heard. They will be heard I'm assuming this week. So if you want to, it'll be presented in the House Rev and Taxation Committee. If you want to take part of it, if you want to just listen to it, if you want to testify for or against them, you can do that. You don't have to go to Boise. You can do that remotely. You can do that in your pajamas, sitting in front of the fireplace, staying warm. But you have to get on. And so if you just go to, Idaho Legislator.gov, I believe is where it is. But you can search that, Google it, Idaho Legislature, and you'll see the website. And you can go in there and watch the agendas that are going in the House Rev and Taxation Committee, and you can take a part of that. All right. Well, those are some of the things that are going on that I thought were important for Idaho to hear about. Love to hear from you. If you got some questions or comments, let me know. Thank you and have a great week. Talk to you later.